That you're here. So, day after Super Bowl Sunday, are you all like filled with like great, awesome Super Bowl food? Are you guys filled? And did you enjoy the game? I hope you enjoyed the game. And for those of you who didn't watch the game, I hope you had a fabulous weekend. So, I'm excited to talk about a process that I've been kind of watching for a while. You know, I'm going to just start here. So it's about transformation. And that word is so like, what the heck is that? And here's what I know. Many of you, and me included, it's like we have something, we have a business, we're successful, and then it's like, but this isn't all there is, right? Or there's there's a sense of wanting to create something new. And sometimes that can be maddening. That can just like, oh, like what? I already have everything in place. Why the heck do I have to do this again? So I have come up with what I think is a really cool 3-step process. And I want to welcome everybody calling in, being live with me. I really appreciate that. So welcome, my friends. But I want to talk to you about what I consider the 3 stages of transformation. You know, I've been watching how it plays out in my world. I've been watching how it works in my clients. And I think we're kind of similar to nature. You know, if we understand that we are the same as nature, basically, we are one, we're connected, we can use some of the same principles. And so I want to speak about that. So the first part of transformation, you ready? On some level, the word is called invite. Invite. Okay, you can write that down. Invite. On some level, whether consciously or unconsciously, you invited something in. So for me, I remember like being on beaches going, all right, God, use me. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, okay, right? There was an invitation. You might have consciously expressed, I'm ready for more. I'm here to be of higher service. I say yes to my next step. Whatever it is, on some level, there was a part of you that made an invitation. Now, what happens prior to the invitation is that, have you ever felt like discontent? I call that the divine discontent, where you're like, it's good, but, you know, and everybody's around you going, what? Like, your life is great, but you might have that, like, to me, it's a soul calling, right? There's something in you that wants more and wants to push forward. I'm going to talk about that in part 2. But there's like perhaps a discontent which starts you going, I wonder if there's something else. So it can be a conscious thing, I'm calling in the next thing, or it could be just a like, wonder if something is out. Something else might be out there. I don't know what it is. See, this isn't a logical, rational, that's where you got to go. It's not logical. It's not like, I don't even like the word reinvent, because that denotes a consciousness. That denotes I'm going to sit down, like I'm going to remodel my house, and I'm going to get an architect. I don't think it's that. I think it's a more organic thing. And we'll talk about that in step 2. So you invite something in, but what gets kicked up often is a fear of change. Now, who loves that one, right? Who loves to go, oh, what the heck? I've built this, but I'm willing just to throw it all away and jump off the cliff, right? So a fear of change is often the thing that almost prevents that invitation. It almost prevents you going to that next step or creating that next thing in your world. And also, sadly, an influence of other people. You know, how many of us want to do something, but we have a partner or a family member that's like, that's crazy. Why would you do that, right? And so what you got to know is there's 2 different kinds of values, 2 different, and I think this is really important to know. It's a great distinction. There are people for whom security is the most important value in the world. They're the ones that, you know what, I have to have security, and that means maybe a pension, a paycheck, paid vacation, and that drives them, that quest for security. They're willing to sacrifice everything for security. And the other value is freedom. That's where most of us self-employed, crazy business owners fall, because we would, in some ways, sacrifice the appearance or the illusion of security for our freedom. And you got to understand, this is really important. if you are a freedom-based valuing person and you're trying to talk to a security-based person going, I've got this great idea, they're going to look at you like you have two heads and you are a crazy person, all right? So you got to make sure when you make the invitation, when you say to the universe, like, I'm ready, or when you just open yourself up, maybe you've never said it, I've said it like out loud, singing the song, use me, you know, maybe you're not doing it that hardcore, but if you're just like, I'm ready for the next thing, I'm inviting that next thing, you gotta make sure you kind of weed the garden. You gotta make sure that you don't have the dream stealers in your life that are unconsciously probably gonna be like, really? But what about vacation pay? What about insurance? And what about, you've been doing this for so long? Because we already have those in our own heads, right? We don't need somebody from the outside. Can I get a preach it, sister? Like, amen? Okay. So the first phase of transformation, in my estimation, is to invite. You make an invitation. Now, sometimes when you do that, wahoo, we move into phase 2. And I call that to evolve. Right? So when you evolve, so the way I look at it is you invite it in, so it's coming from the outside. It's almost as if getting pregnant, right? Something comes in, or the seed comes in from the outside, then it's got to grow inside, and then it bursts out. Not that babies burst, but life bursts out. Some babies burst, if you're following me here. So what happens is you say the invitation, you say the prayer. Like, all right, you said the prayer. I'm ready. I want that next thing. My soul is calling. I'm ready, right? And then life's like, cool. So let's get rid of anything that's not going to work for you. And there's almost a destruction. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you might lose relationships. You might lose people in your life. You might have stuff fall away. Because remember, think of nature. One of the most powerful things I heard recently, I love this, was, the huge redwood trees, the beautiful, fabulous redwood trees. They have these seed pods. So in order to reproduce or to grow, they have seed pods. The only way that can come to fruition is in a fire. So the seed pods need the destruction to open to their potential. Now, what is that like for you? What is that in your world? What is being raised or leveled or removed so this next iteration of you, this next level of greatness in you can emerge? And this is where it's freaking scary. This is when I know I have been sitting on my couch going, holy shit, like, really? This is going and that's going? I mean, a year and a half ago, I had 2 deaths and 3 relationships that I had to end because they weren't serving, and they were dear people to me. And it was like, wait, what? 5 people? I freaking lost 5 people in a year? Like, the closest people to me? What? It made deaths obviously make sense, but the other relationships is kind of like, but I always follow the energy and I trust. And see, that's the thing. When I think of the evolution process, you can't stop it. Like, if I were pregnant with a baby right now, it's growing. Whether I wanted to grow, whether I eat Cheetos, or whether I sit on my couch going, holy shit, what have I done? It's growing. And the thing in you, when you make the invitation, when your soul's like, cool, boom, that's your next step, it's growing in you. Now, what happens is, remember, you can't stop it. Oh, well, I guess you can. But it's going to get you one way or the other, right? And so what we do sometimes is, like, if your soul has you in the grips of like, okay, this is what's going on, this is what you're supposed to do. And a lot of my clients are in this. They come to me, they want something new. They know exactly what it is, and we move them in the direction. And then sometimes what happens, there's almost an unconscious sabotage because it's like so new and so scary. Because sometimes you don't see the results instantly, right? So you've given up this thing that you're comfortable in, you're working, and you're now working on this thing. It's not formed. You don't even maybe know how to do it. You're just going, all right, I'll say yes. It requires tremendous trust and faith And mostly, I think it requires a mentor or people in your life that go, I gotcha. I know this place and you're okay. You really are okay. You know, one of my new hashtags is not on my watch. Not on my watch will you be giving up on yourself. Not on my watch will you be freaking the frick out. Not on my watch. So understanding the cycle of this and the process of this is a really important piece. So we have invite, we have evolve, right? It's going to evolve. And then the third piece is embody. So what I do with my clients here, so we have the invitation. So you might get the like, whoa, this is what I want to do. And then it comes into your life and your body and your energy and your world. And stuff starts falling away, right? Like things fall apart. Old beliefs are just like pushed. People that aren't supposed to be there, go. Old habits and energy, things that it's just like you have this next level of like, crap, I can't bring this along with me. And you might go kicking and screaming, but that's it. Like that's going to happen, right? So in the embody stage, what I do with people is I clear their energy. I make sure that who they're being is aligned with this next level. And that's the piece that most people miss. You know, that's in our world, in the business coaching world, everybody hands you these blueprints and these strategies, and it's awesome. Those are really good things to know. But if you can't hold that energy, if you can't align, if you cannot embrace that next level of you and hold the space of more greatness or more love or more possibility, you're gonna push it away, right? So this is the embodiment place. So remember, it comes in, life works you, and now we're gonna push it out. Who do you gotta be? So I would ask you to think about that. Whatever's coming in, who do I need to be? You might not even know yet, right? Or you might get the vision of it and it's like, holy heck, wait, what? Me? Like, what? So you just start a little bit of course correcting. You know, you don't go from 0 to 100, you go from 0 to 7. So if like one of my most successful clients came to me about a year ago, and what she said was, and I love this, I want you to turn me into a leader because I have a huge vision. Now, we did a little bit of strategy. We've done a little bit of the tactical stuff, but more of the work, the most part of the work was working with her holding an expanded vision of herself, her growing into that next place of her beingness. That is the work. And so that's what you need to get support around. So what we want you to do is understand that that's the work. Also understand that if you, like, I envision myself on stages. I've already written 5 bestseller books. I've got world tours speaking, right? Of course, that's not really created yet. But what I know is that it's mine because I have the desire. So I just have to trust and know that the way is there. It's created in consciousness, in some reality. It's already created. It's just growing me into that, right? So that's the most important part, is how do you be that? That's what I want you to focus on. So here's the thing I desire. How do I be that? What would be the embodiment of it? And I got to tell you, if you don't have the tools to clear and understand the energies that are holding you back, it's more difficult. That's why I'm so excited in May, May 21st through 24th, I'm having all these principles. I'm having a retreat in Sedona, Arizona, where we're going to do this. We're going to take your dream. We're going to go through this invite, evolve, and embody process. So imagine 3 days of this work where I'm clearing you. We're giving you tools to move out the energy. That's what I want you to know. There's a way to get it done, right? So if you're interested in my Sedona retreat, registration page isn't even up yet. Just put your name in the comments and I can get back with you. So here's what I want you to remember. This is not a journey for the faint of heart, right? This is not like, could I just get a plug and play plan? Like, we're not just buying franchises that are telling us what to do. Not if you're a conscious business owner who is following the voice of your soul. Remember that you are aligned with nature, and sometimes what happens is destruction is the only way to get you to the next level. You know, the good of a forest fire, as horrible as it is, like, oh my gosh, the whole mountain burned, but it creates new life. But if you do not have the support to make this next level jump for yourself, it's really scary, and you won't get there in as fast as a time or in as true of a way. And so if I can help you in any way, if I can give you any support on this journey, I want you to reach out, okay? Because this is my brilliance. This stuff is my brilliance. So I want to thank you for watching today. Put below in the comments, like, what'd you learn? Or what are you working on? I would love to get some conversation going. And if you're interested in coming to Sedona in May and being taken through this process. Now this Sedona retreat is not a business building retreat. I'm going to have an additional add-on day if you want some strategy, but this is just all yummy, juicy life coaching, spiritual coaching, transformation. So you don't have to be a business owner. A lot of my people I know are like, oh, I don't have a business, but I want to work with you. Here's how. Okay. So consider that May 21st through 24th. In Sedona, if you're interested in that, and message me and I will get back with you. So thanks again for showing up. I really appreciate you being here this morning. And if you're watching this later, again, thank you for showing up. And I want to hear your perspective. I want to hear how this landed. Are you evolving? Are you scared? Do you have tips? You know, like, what do you do to make it through this evolutionary process? Because this really, if you understand this, it's a game changer. It's much easier. Alrighty, so peace and blessings. Bye now.